We are pleased to be joined by Assemblywoman Holly Schepisi. She's the Assistant GOP Leader in the Assembly. Holly, great to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Last time we talked about the big picture, GOP politics nationally, statewide. But our colleague and friend Mike Kelly wrote a column about you. Got a lot of feedback. Do you hear a lot about it?
All over.
Yeah. So you were very candid with Mike. You talked to him about the fact that there are some folks who have said some pretty rotten, nasty, personal things about you, and you're not the only one. This was about you. About your appearance,
yes.
weight, just really stuff that had nothing to do with politics and nothing to do with why you got into this.
Right.
Why did you do that?
Honestly,
Why'd you talk to Mike?
I put up a post on Facebook that talked about I had hit a goal that day of weight loss since February. And I put up that although I was really proud of myself for having lost 45 pounds, for me, the biggest struggle and the thing I was most proud of was losing other people's opinions of me and letting that impact on me. And in politics and life with social media, it's so very difficult because you're under a microscope at every moment of every day. And I had gained a significant amount of weight after having had my brain aneurysm.
Right.
I was very self-conscious about it. I had kind of given up on myself.
By the way, Holly just happens to mention a brain aneurysm. Check out the interview we did with Holly about that. Powerful. God, I'm sorry.
And I just kind of accepted that I had gained this weight and, you know, I was happy to be alive. And in February, I had gone on a TV interview for another station, and
a lesser one than public
a lesser one, you guys.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
And one of the responses from one of the political activists in the state was to call me a pig and to kind of mock my appearance, and put up a picture of me in which it made a vomit face and all this other stuff. And I was on a plane with a couple of friends, and we were going away for the weekend, and I was so devastated. And it was something that I said, you know what, I've got to take control of my own life, not allow this stuff to impact on me. And I very quietly went on Weight Watchers, started doing stuff for myself, and psychologically just came to a point where I can't say my exact slogan because it would get bleeped out, but it's zero, you know what's left to give,
yes.
about what people think about you. And in politics, it's a really tough place to get to because people take swipes at your hair, your makeup, your perceived intelligence or lack thereof. They say the most horrific things imaginable.
Which is not why you got into public life in the first place.
No, not at all. Not at all. And up until, candidly, a couple of years ago, it wasn't like that.
Why do you think it's different?
I think it's a blend. I mean, I saw it personally for the first time when I sat on the Bridgegate Committee.
That's
and
right.
I would go on different shows to talk about it. And people wouldn't discuss, you know, the policy or whether or not they agreed or disagreed with me on what I was saying. It was, you know, really awful comments about whether or not I sleep with the governor, awful comments about my hair that day, weight loss, weight gain, and people who kind of champion themselves as being, you know, all for women. We're the most god-awful people to women.
Women to women?
Women to women.
Women saying things not on public policy, not on substantive issues, which is all we are about here.
Right.
But about you personally. You actually said this is a toxic political cesspool.
Yes. Yeah,
Not too strong?
Not too strong at all. And it's, you know, I speak with my colleagues on the other side of the aisle all the time about it.
Otherwise known as Democrats.
my Democrat friends. And, you know, we all take it in various degrees. I'm one of the most...
Worse for women?
I think so. Men don't have their appearance commented on as much as women do. They don't have their clothing commented on as much as women do. But I've also found that Facebook and Twitter has
Social media?
Yeah, it's enabled people to say things to one another that they would never say in person.
But Holly, I got to tell you, the other thing about you is that you've never held back. And I remember there's a quote that we've used from you in one of our shows, and when you said sometimes it becomes difficult being part of your party at certain times.
Right.
To what degree does President Trump focusing on the physical appearance of women, starting in the presidential campaign with Carly Fiorina saying that face, look at that face, to Rosie O'Donnell, to formerly at Fox and NBC, Megyn Kelly.
Right.
about her
Yes.
menstrual cycle, which he'll swear that wasn't what it was about, to a reporter from the New York Times who was handicapped, physically disabled, and the president mocking him. The point I'm making is this.
Right.
To what degree has the president, he's not alone,
Right.
but to what degree has he contributed to the toxic environment that you described?
It doesn't help, but the toxicity was there even before him. So when I was on the Bridgegate Committee, Trump wasn't even a blink or a factor.
He's just
in
a part of
anybody's.
it.
He's a part of it. It's part of, I think he's capitalized on that to an extent where, I'm somebody where I like to show a different way. And I'm a firm proponent and believer in, if I don't like people doing this to me, I shouldn't be doing it
Someone
to
says, get in the
others.
gutter with them. Get in the
And-
gutter and fight with them dirty, and that's the way you play politics today. If you don't want to play that way, then get out of politics, you say.
Both of my last election cycles, I had a tremendous amount of money poured against me. And it was everything from I hate every population group to I hate women to I hate this group. It was all false. It's not who I am at all. I had personal things in both of the past elections that I could have used against my opponents.
Why didn't you?
It's not me. I refused to do
But
it.
how about if you lost in the process?
I would have been able to wake up, looked at myself in the mirror, and been proud of myself
You
for
in the
having. Yeah.
I'm sorry for interrupting. Does that make you in the minority? And I don't mean the minority party. The person who will not use personal attacks because they think it's politically short-term advantageous to them.
Right.
The norm?
Probably not. Probably not.
What does that say, Holly?
We're at a win at any cost mentality, I think, on both sides. And it's something where we need, us as leaders, us who are willing to be the sane, let's talk about policy, let's talk about policy differences, let's figure out a better way to get
Well, let's not name
someplace.
calling, let's not personally attack, let's not mock people's appearance.
Right.
We can do that.
Absolutely.
And we in the media, finally, we in the media have a big role here.
I think we all do. I think we as leaders do. I think you guys, as being in the media, do. I think that we need to stop sensationalizing everything. And it's all, it's not about let's delve into the deep dives anymore. It's, what's going to get us the most number of clicks? What's going to, drive people to our site? And so the most outrageous becomes the norm or the perceived norm because that's what's driving people to engage.
You hopeful?
I'm always hopeful. I wouldn't
Because
still
you're a
be
hopeful
doing
person.
this.
Were you tempted to get out of this?
Oh, absolutely.
You're tempted to say, I'm out of public
This
life.
entire election cycle, I would wake up going, what the heck am I doing? Why am I putting myself through this
What's
again?
the answer to it?
We need people who are willing to put their foot down and go enough. We need people who are willing to set a different path. We need people who are willing to mentor those and build a bench, particularly on the Republican side.
You want to show your kids as well?
Yes, and
I could tell.
for my
We were talking-
16-year-old,
Go
my
ahead, I'm sorry.
8-year-old,
What do you want to show them? What's the message?
Mommy's strong. Mommy's in it for the right reasons. The sacrifices my family has made in allowing me to do this, that it's for a better purpose and not me just being a gerbil in a wheel in politics, but to potentially show a different, better pathway.
Holly Schepisi, every time you're with us, I'm not going to make this an endorsement. It's meaningful conversation, respectful, candid, important. We thank you. That's why we're in public broadcasting.
Thank you.
You're welcome anytime.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Adubato. We'll be right back. Thank you, Holly.
State of Affairs with Steve Adubato is a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation. Funding has been provided by Holy Name Medical Center, NJIT, the law firm of Gibbons, P.C., New Jersey Resources, Fedway Associates, MD Advantage Insurance Company of New Jersey, the Fidelco Group, and by these public-spirited organizations, individuals, and associations committed to informing New Jersey citizens about the important issues facing the Garden State, and by Employers Association of New Jersey. Promotional support provided by AM 970 The Answer, and by Commerce and Industry Association of New Jersey.